Oh, hello. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the release party of Home Assistant 2025.8. It's summer. It's summer. Everybody's on holiday. You see a lot of new and different faces today to help me out with the live stream. So shall we kick off with some introductions? Right.
Sure.
All right. Go ahead.
I'm Joost. I'm part of the core team. I work on Home Assistant full time via the Open Home Foundation. I also focus on developer relations, like talking with developers and seeing how we can improve the whole process and make everything better in the end. So yeah, that's what I do.
Indeed. Hi, I'm Frank, and I'm the lead of the Home Assistant project. And well, basically releasing and shipping you this release this month.
I'm Dennis. I'm a contributor to Home Assistant, mainly to the AI capabilities. Happy to be on the stream.
Nice, welcome. Thanks for joining as well.
I'm Paul. I'm front-end developer for Open Home Foundation, and I work mainly on the Home Assistant UI and dashboard.
Hi, I'm Miranda. I'm the Partnerships Manager here at Home Assistant, and my main responsibility is the Works with Home Assistant program, where I work with our partners.
Look at that. And there was a lot to report on our partners this month, to be fair. Should we dive into that?
Yeah, I think so.
So, man, you have been busy actually looking at the list here. Yeah, last month there were already a bunch, right? We had SwitchBot and oh god, going fast. So Nuki, no, that was the month.
June, and then the first one in July was Nuki.
Nuki, right? We did Nuki this month. That's a big one.
It was almost a full month ago, so it does seem like ages ago. It was just after the last release. So Nuki was the first partner to join in July. They're a lock company, smart lock company, and they join with 3 different Matter locks. 2 of them work as a kind of retrofit option, and then one of them is a full cylinder that you can kind of fully install and replace your original kit with. So yeah, really excited that they joined the program. They look really cool, don't they? They look really nice, really sleek. And they have just a really cool origin story too. So they were started in Austria by 2 brothers, and very sporty family. They used to like going out, kind of cycling, running, that kind of stuff, and obviously didn't want to bring like bulky items with them like keys, phone, blah, blah, blah. So this is why they came up with Nuki. They're still manufactured in Europe as well, and they've just launched one of their locks in the US market too. So yeah, really nice addition to the program.
Nice. I still don't have smart locks actually. I don't know. I used to have a little bit of a thing against them, but now I was kind of concerning. I've researched the law. I have one of those doors where the key cannot enter at both sides at the same time, so I need to replace all the cylinders and such.
Yeah, you can replace it.
Yeah, you can replace it, but yeah, that's another chore on my list then, I guess.
I think it's difficult, isn't it? Because like I have 2 boxes that I can't show because they're not on sale yet, sitting next to me. But like I struggle with this door because it's kind of like a patio door. It's a glass door, so I can't actually fit a decent lock onto it. But these ones would be great for like a front door. They also have some other little components that you can put with them, like keypads and key fobs and stuff like that. Yeah, and they have really they have a couple of different speeds too. So you can have like gentle, nice and quiet one, and they go up to their quickest speed is called insane, which I really like as a marketing kind of piece. I just think it's really funny. So yeah, they're a nice company to have with us in the program.
Okay, nice. Looks really slick though. I'm very happy to see they're a big brand, to see more big brands joining the program.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's not all. We have more, huh?
Yeah. So do you want to go to Zeus next?
Zeus? Sure.
So Zeus joined us in the middle of the month. They joined with a really big variety of Z-Wave products. So this one that you see here is their Titan valve actuator. It's a really interesting product, but they do quite a lot around flood protection and leak detection and that kind of stuff too, which is really nice for Z-Wave because of the range, and especially like, in certain areas you have Z-Wave long range now. If you have something in your home that is kind of far away from where your central hub is, it's really nice to be able to have leak protection in different areas. So for me, for example, my garage is very far away from our central hub, and we usually have Zigbee mesh here. So getting enough items to build a really good Zigbee mesh that reaches the garage doesn't really work. So Zeus have loads of nice items that help with that kind of stuff. This one is really cool. There's some really cool videos of this being used as well, and you can see how it fits onto a set of pipes and kind of cuts the water supply off. So yeah, that's really interesting. And we have switches, loads of really nice basics too. Sensors, temperature sensors. Yeah, it's you could kit out a whole home with just these items, really, if you're a Z-Wave fan.
That's cool. Z-Wave is kind of nice, though. As we generally say, Z-Wave is not that. We will get back to that in a bit as well. But yeah.
Yeah, and Zeus, they only do Z-Wave as well, so they're real specialists in it. They're long range ready too, so you can buy the items in Europe and in North America. The North America ones will predominantly have long range already, and then the firmware updates will be available for long range in Europe too, which is really nice because they're doing the right thing there in terms of you don't have to buy a new piece of kit just to have the long range capability. You can update your current, as long as it's got the right chip in it that supports it, you can update it through a firmware update. So yeah, I really like their approach. It's really cool.
I do see a lot of use cases for the long range though. Oh, here's the demo you talked about. Cool. Let me see if that works actually. Is it long? Oh, that's long. Okay, that's a point. Oh, Agnes is there. Cool. Definitely watch. There's a block on Zeus joining the partner program, so that's cool. Yeah, happy they joined. Cool to see Z-Wave, C-Wave, or Z-Wave, depends on where you are in the world, I guess, how you pronounce it, to see that light up a bit. And we had another one joining on Z-Wave this month.
Yes, definitely. I've had to train myself out of saying Z-Wave because I'm British, but Shelley is the next one that joins with Z-Wave. And they were certified for about 5 different Z-Wave devices. So predominantly these are devices that would fit behind a switch or behind a panel and make your kind of dumb devices smart. So you can wire them in and you wouldn't necessarily have to get rid of your original hardware. You could just wire it in and then, yeah, it has power metering in, switches and relays, and there's one rail as well that would fit into an electrical box rather than sitting behind a panel. So yeah, really nice to have. We haven't had a Z-Wave release in quite some time, so we put a little bit of focus on the Z-Wave products this month for reasons which will become clear, I'm sure. But it's to make sure that we've got a really good suite of product on offer and different areas too. Shelley have a really large user base in Europe because that's they originated in Bulgaria, whereas these have quite a focus on the American market too, but then are kind of coming into Europe as time goes on too. So yeah, really nice different devices.
Shelley has been like a sweetheart in the community for a long time. It's so cool to see them answering the program actually with Z-Wave. Then in this case, yeah, I have tons of their devices in my home. I enjoy them a lot. I see Paul nodding. Like,
yeah, it's very nice that they have the same device but in different technology. You can buy a Wi-Fi switch, a Z-Wave switch, or a Bluetooth device. Like it's basically the same capabilities, but on different technologies. So I really like this idea. You are not limited by the technology you use.
They have everything in their product portfolio, basically, right? All the protocols.
Yeah, they really do. Yeah. It's a nice option because you can just go and kind of pick and choose exactly what you want depending on which protocol you focus on. Yeah. And even in the UK, like they have some interesting UK options. Like I think we're slightly underserved here, but like it's very hard to find, say, a Z-Wave plug in the UK. But Shelly have one. Yeah, and a long range one too.
And I think for long range, it's the only manufacturers that have a European long range device for now.
It could well be. Yeah, it's taken a while to get out here.
So cool, but there's a reason behind all these Z-Wave Works at Home Assistant partners this month, right? Because next week. Next week we have a product launch actually. Because next week, Wednesday, same time, same place, right here on YouTube. I will share the link, by the way, in case you want to like hit that notify me button, which you definitely should do. Yeah, we will be product launching something that is related to Z-Wave. As we said, Z-Wave isn't that. It's not that, and it will. We will show that upcoming Wednesday. I'm so curious about that one. This is a product launch live stream, and it's going to be amazing. And there's a lot of people in there, including external invites. So this is going to be very, very special and very, very nice. So definitely go there, hit that button, and I am excited to see what's going to happen.
Same.
You've been playing with it already, Joost.
Not a lot. Like I don't have a lot of Z-Wave devices myself yet.
Wait, what? Well, we have partners now.
Yeah, that's true.
And give you some recommendations. It's fine.
Exactly.
Well, mostly I don't really have that big of a smart home at the moment, but I will have use cases for our new product. That's for sure.
Oh yes. Meanwhile, during the stream, Paulus came by. Hello, Paulus. I hope you're enjoying your well-deserved vacation, just like many of us are enjoying a vacation right now from the Open Home Foundation, which is very cool. And many contributors as well, by the way. It is definitely summer on this side of the world. And a lot of people are enjoying their time off. So that's cool. Also, during our talk just now, this came up. Paul, you're sitting here.
Yeah.
Just saying. But you have a smart lock?
I have 2 smart locks because I have 2 doors. Yeah, and like smart lock have a very good home approval factor. Like once you add it to your home, for the whole family, it's very, very nice. And also for friends, like you can open the door from the outside and all this stuff when you're not at home. For delivery also, yeah.
I mean, back in my day, we had like this cable underneath the letter box, which you, as a kid, you put your hand in the letter box and then you could open the door. Yeah. That's what we had.
Pulling the wire, yeah.
Like a fake rock, you know?
Oh, yeah, something like that. Yes, definitely. And by the way, Paul, Jose agrees with you 100% here. Has the highest approval factor. I should definitely consider that. We'll talk about that in a little bit, I guess. But yeah. Still good.
I actually have some more in testing as well, so we've got a really wide range to choose from, Frank, if you want some.
That sounds like very interesting. Hey, what are we getting? Are there any spoilers for upcoming month? Do we get more this month? Actually, let's start with that.
Oh yeah, I should have at least definitely 1, if not 2 launches in August. I don't want to do spoilers, but I can tell you a little bit about them. So one is in the air quality space, and one coming up will be in the garage door space as well. And then we've got some smart locks, hopefully to September time.
Okay, that's good. All right. Yeah, thank you so much, Miranda, for that overview and that little bit of a spoiler. And now I need to get a garage door though. That's a bigger problem than a lock, I would say. All right. Yeah, I'm not sure if you want to stay on or not, by the way. Feel free to, or drop off if you want to.
It's getting late here, so I'll probably drop off. But thanks for having me, and I'll see you guys soon.
Okay, thank you so much, Miranda. See ya.
Right.
Bye.
Bye. Great. Man, those partners, she's like rocking that thing. It's incredible what's coming up lately.
Yep.
But we're here for a release actually today. It's Home Assistant 2025.8 August already. We're way past half of the year. And how to approach this today? Let's talk a little bit. What are we doing? Where are we starting? You guys want to kick it off? Who's going to kick it off? I know
guess-
they have some demos prepared.
I guess the big first thing would be streaming text-to-speech.
Streaming text to speach. Do you
Yes.
have a demo for that?
Yes and no. Like I have two voice PEs here, but I will try to set this one up with the old version on my dev environment, but that did not work. So I only have like with the new environment. So I can show you how quick it is, but you're not used with how slow it is.
Okay, well let's just first show how quick it is. I do have a comparison video as backup, so we can actually show the difference. By the way, Joost, some people are saying you're a little bit quiet. Can you
I
up
also
your
got
mic a bit?
messages from Jose about that was quiet, so I tried to turn it up. Is this better, or is this too loud?
I can up you a little bit. Here we go.
Oh, that was. I saw the switch moving on my screen. Do we have a nice, quite long question to ask?
Tell me a long story about black holes or something.
Yeah, sure. Tell me a long story about. Okay, Nabu. Tell me a long story about black holes.
Once upon a time in the vast cosmos, where stars are born and galaxies collide, there existed mysterious entities known.
That was quick, and this uses OpenAI conversation, and it uses the cloud, like Home Assistant Cloud, text-to-speech, and both currently support streaming. So where before it was done in parts. So first we would ask OpenAI to be like, "Hey, well, tell us a story about black holes." Then we would get the whole transcript, and then throw it into the cloud, into Home Assistant Cloud to make it into speech. And then I don't believe that we also streamed directly. So we would first get the media back and then send it to the VP. I'm not 100% sure on that one. But now everything is more in one line. So something directly goes from OpenAI to text speech to your voice PE or your other voice assistant or media device. So the whole process is now way smoother, meaning that now the response is way earlier at your site.
Yeah, so what happens, we're streaming the responses, so we don't wait for the whole response to be complete, right? So it's already playing, even though it's still like processing it. That's basically the gist, right? And I got a little video from Mike. Mike is doing magic here. It was also shouted out in the chat, by the way. Mike is truly doing tons of magic in this voice stuff. Mike, the voice guy. We definitely need him on stream again someday to talk about all of this, because he has been making lots of progress. But let me show you a little bit a before and after video I got from him, or at least he sent me a few videos and I copy paste them together in order to make it visible for you to see what the difference is. The demo I'm going to show you shows Home Assistant 2025.7, which is last release or older, it's the same, using Home Assistant Cloud on a Home Assistant voice PE. And the second part of the video shows it as of this release. And there's a little stopwatch in there to show you the difference. So here we go.
Okay, here's a long story about a frog.
Tell me a long story about a frog.
Okay, here's a long story about a frog.
Just 2 seconds versus like 5-something seconds in the beginning.
Tell me a long story about a frog.
It cut off the beginning, but this was really fast. Like, this is 5 seconds or something. 5.
Okay.
Yeah,
Here's a
almost
long
6.
story about a frog.
Tell me a long story about a frog.
Okay. Here's a long story about a frog.
And will it work with any conversation agent? I think
Only
so.
if it supports it, right? It's so
Yeah.
it has to be able to support like the early streaming of it. So Home Assistant Cloud does support it. We have it also enabled for Piper, for example. But essentially, every text-to-speech engine could support this if they have the ability to, well, stream it through.
Yeah, but the agent also have to support it because
Yes.
But I think most
Yes,
of them
actually,
support.
most of the agents support streaming.
Look at that.
Not all of them, but most of them.
So super cool. If you use the voice PE, this will be much better and a much better experience. It will just respond faster. It's basically the time to first byte, right? The first bit of voice comes in very early and very quicker, giving you the appearance of it being quicker, although it's still processing.
2 seconds doesn't sound like much, but when you're talking to a device and you're waiting on an answer, it can be quite a lot.
Yeah, definitely. A whole lot. All right. So that's streaming responses. But we are also introducing a whole bunch of new AI stuff this release, which I'm actually very excited about and curious about the actual live demonstration, to be fair. Tell me, what's in this release?
Okay, let me show the suggest with AI button.
Ooh. Where are you? You need to be added to a screen, I
You
guess.
already was sharing. It's this one.
Oh.
Yes, that's my screen.
That's your
Okay.
screen. Okay, sorry. I didn't know.
So let's suggest you've created an automation. When you want to rename it or when you save it, you'll notice that there is a new button, suggest with AI. When you press it, it will create the name and description for you. If you use labels, it will also create labels.
I think it's also really cool to also notice that when creating these suggestions, it will also take into account the other names of your existing automations. So if you have a certain naming scheme within your automations, it will just try to follow it as well, which is, I think, a really neat feature to actually make use of comments.
What is actually happening here? Wait a second. That was really quick. What? So you're saving an automation and then it...
Yes, when you save an automation or when you rename it, you'll just press this button to create the... Okay, it created the same, but... Okay, you have the new automation. You press this button, and it does the magic.
Nice.
And it's also the description if you don't have one. Nice.
It also adds labels if your current naming scheme is using labels. I don't use a lot of labels, so it chose not to. It also works when you create the new automation.
So I just opened my instance. I don't see it. How does this work? Because I saw some concerns from people already that were talking about like, hey, this AI button is...
That is a very important point. Thank you for asking. So in general settings, you have the new menu, AI suggestions. And here you can select which integration will provide the default AI task to create those names.
Yeah, so what we have now, I'm going to talk a little bit about it. We have introduced a new type of entity this release, which is called AI tasks. And this entity you can actually do a lot of things with. We'll probably get a demo in a bit. I know there's something there. But these entities are able to handle and process data through AI. And that means that Home Assistant can actually do things like suggesting an automation, a name for it. So don't worry, we're not going to put like an AI button everywhere. It will only show up if you explicitly set it up right here, right? So if you have set up the AI suggestions right here and you assigned it to some AI integration you set up, you have set up a whole bunch actually in that list I saw just now, Dennis. There's OpenAI, there's Google AI is there. We have the Claude, for example, that you could set up. Ollama, maybe. I'm not sure if Ollama supports this yet. Does it? I don't know.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Look at that. It does support too. So basically, if you set up such an integration and you set up the AI suggestions here to the AI integration you wanted to work with, at that point, such buttons can appear like happening in the automation editor right now. Which is just very cool to see. Your example is that you've shown is just showing the title and the name, indeed, the description, but it can assign things like labels and areas as well, depending on all the existing automations you have. If you have a naming pattern, it will try to pick that up, even if I understood correctly from Paulus before, which is just super sweet.
Yeah, if you have a notification category, it will automatically assign the notification category to it.
Oh wow! Like in the categorization in the automation dialog. Oh, that's cool.
So.
Yes. Okay. Okay. One of other things that AI task integration can do. It could be used in the automations to do. Okay, it can input. You can input text. You can input images even from your camera, and it will create structured. It can create structured output. So you can use it for classification. You can use it for another analysis. So that's a new powerful feature that for your automation. So we want to see what other users are going to use it for. So I've prepared. Okay, let me show you one example. It is actually a blueprint prepared by Paulus. Hi, Paulus. It's called AI camera analysis. You can find it in the forum.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I will try to find the link and show it in the chat really quick. But go ahead.
Okay, so I have a demo platform here. This demo provides a couple of fake sensors. It provides a motion sensor. It even provides a fake camera. So let me show you really quick. So it even shows you the demo camera that's doing this.
I keep forgetting that this is in the code page.
So
It's so bad.
we'll use this blueprint to create an automation. We'll select a fake motion sensor. We'll select this camera. And we press suggest with AI button. Oh, what? Okay, give me a second.
Demo effect.
Demo fail.
Yes, it's fine.
You probably changed the
Yes, I was.
agents. Sorry.
Let's
It-
add the
it's
banner.
Ollama, and I am not connected to Ollama server right now. So, back to the blueprint. Sorry.
No worries. Demo camera. So what does camera analysis?
AI camera movement detection. This automation triggers AI analysis. Okay.
Yeah, it's cool that
Now-
it automatically detects that's in the back, that it is in the backyard. That's great.
Yes. I don't know if this sensor works, so I will just. Oh, it creates the. It created the label. Look.
It knew it was in the demo.
Yes, it was an existing label, but it decided that I would like to add it. Okay, I will manually run this automation because it's a fake sensor. And if I look into the logbook, okay, this is output from the automation. Demo camera analysis. A family gathered in the living room with Peter animatedly expressing himself while the rest of the family observes with varying expressions.
That's sweet.
So you can actually use this with cameras, right? Like actually get like there's a delivery guy at the door kind of level deal, I guess then.
Exactly. You can have like classification of visitors. Like, did you have a delivery guy? Did you have a visit from police, or maybe maybe a kid came nearby, or something like this? So if you have a smart lock camera, you can have visitors classification. You can also do like classification of delivery packages. If there is a delivery, it can check the size, the company, and it will create notification or other automations that you want to do. It can do many more things, like it can count free parking spots near.
Free parking
Yes.
spots.
Yes, if you explain what's your parking spot, it will also alert you if your parking spot is taken by someone else. Okay.
Somebody's suggesting. Sorry,
Yes.
Michael, this is just too funny. But the mother-in-law rings the doorbell, sound the alarm.
Okay. It doesn't have personal recognition yet, but
Okay.
if you describe how she looks, what she wears, maybe it will work.
Okay, so
Okay.
JJ UK is asking, like, I've seen this before, but I always needed a Google Coral for this. So this doesn't?
Okay, Google Coral, I think this the AI acceleration device,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's a machine learning acceleration device. It's, for example, often used in combination with Frigate.
Yeah,
I
you have to
think-
use Frigate for that.
Yeah.
Yes, for this device, you had to write your own model, teach this model. You had to write your own code. This is the same functionality, but created from the pieces which are already built, like OpenAI models from the cloud. You don't need to train your own model.
Right.
Yeah, because
this
for
is-
Corel, it's mostly for person, car, animals detection or something like that. Here you can
Yes,
say everything you want. It's just an image description. You can even read the plate number of a car on a camera or something like that.
Yes, it's using general purpose AI models, and it's using Home Assistant. Most important.
Right.
Okay, I've been thinking of other things that I can use this for. For example, have a camera in the children's room and assess messiness level of the children's room. And if it's messy, then you maybe
Automate your parenting.
yes. If it's not messy, maybe you can start a vacuum cleaner. So, okay. Also, it works. You can also log pet activity. Like if you have a pet, when you're out for work, for example, you can have a camera to monitor to record what's going on in your home while you're away. What your pet is doing. Is it playing? Is it sleeping? Is it spending too much on the same spot, which could sound an alarm or something like this. Also, we have a mail integration, so we can read email from Home Assistant, and with this AI task, you can create an automation that will create a task in your calendar. It can alert you, notify you about important emails. It can monitor your expenses and log some expenses. How much you spend on things if you receive receipts on the mail.
All right, so you can actually analyze the mail you receive with the AI task as an automation, and then do a task or something with it, like an action with it you want to. Like
because it supports text as input and not just camera or image. Nice.
Right. So if you're like Michael in the chat, if your mother-in-law actually emails you, you can automatically delete it. Then in this use case, then he is like looking for. But I guess things like that, like you could actually maybe detect more spam, or maybe if you're waiting for important mail or people you find extra important, you could trigger on that. I guess that would be cool.
I think it's also good to know, like if you go to the action to the services. In the developer tools, and you show the AI task generate data service. The thing what Dennis was also saying was that we have structured outputs. So you can literally just define a schema, which is already like the same schema as we know as in Blueprint. But then the AI can use that to fill in. So you can, for example, put in an invoice as a PDF and have like an output thing saying like, hey, what's the amount including VAT, value-added taxes, and it will just figure it out in theory.
Right, you can actually use it to ask to extract the invoice or specific data from the invoice.
So it's not like it's not like that you put in a PDF and it's like, this is a PDF from the IKEA that you bought this and this, and like, no, I just want to know what the amount is, and then you also don't need to parse data, like the number from the whole string soup that you just got back.
Right. So you can actually get data and use that data in your automation. So you can actually maybe do an announcement saying, well, you just got an invoice for $40.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to show you one more thing. Okay. It's not an advertised feature, but with this release, it brings all the small pieces together that we can run OpenAI's deep search from Home Assistant. So I have created a new sub-entry for OpenAI. The instructions. In the instructions, I put that you're a professional researcher. prioritize like official information, something like this. Okay, deep research. Let me tell about it. It's an conversational model that that can do several web searches. It can iterate on the web search, and it will do like tens of web searches, even maybe hundreds of web searches, to provide you a report with all the details. It's like a human research when you research something in the internet, but from the AI model. So
Right.
to use this in Home Assistant, you should not select any control checkboxes. It doesn't support it.
Mhm.
For the model, you can choose either O4 Mini Deep Research or O3 Deep Research.
Right, those are thinking models, right?
Yes. You should put a little more output tokens because it provides the long report.
It would be useful to have a streaming response for that.
Yes.
Yes. No, actually, this model does not stream. That's one of the exceptions. Okay. On the last page, the code interpreter, it doesn't mean that you should provide any code. It means that the model itself can write some code and execute it for some analysis. If you intend to do it some math tasks or something that involves calculations, maybe trends calculations, something like this, you should include this tool. Or you cannot. If you don't want, you can unselect it. It's not important. Reason and effort, you should select medium. Enable web search, you should select it because that's the main mode of operation. Search context size should be medium, and do not include home location. It doesn't support it. And I can show you how it works. Okay, one of the important things that this model will take significant time, maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, maybe even more. So it wouldn't work with conversation interface of Home Assistant. Because it will time out before the model will provide the response. But it will work in automations. So
Because they can run longer. Okay.
yes, they can run longer. I have created a script I will show the script. First, let me start it because it can take some time. I will start it. It's running. Okay, while it's running, I will show you the script itself.
Holy moly! You are just like building applications out for this.
I actually
Almost.
did not know this was actually possible.
Okay, so the script it just accepts the query. It executes the conversation action.
Right. Use that agent with that prompt.
Yes. The prompt is the query that you input from the script.
Mhm.
And it will output the result in a new variable, like result. Now you can use this variable to manually fire an event. You can just you can just create new event type and just fire an event with this results. And also you can do the notification. Okay, this event. Okay, for this event, I've created a template sensor. This template sensor will use the data from the event as its value. It's not the value itself; it's the attribute, because for the sensor state we have a limit of 255 characters, but for attributes we don't have this limitation. So it will create.
It's a hack.
It's more
Yes.
of a hack than actually a feature. Just to be aware, this will be stored in the database.
Okay. So it will create the sensor like this. In the attributes, it will store the results. Okay. Then I created the Markdown card, which will use the attributes from the sensor as it contents.
Right. Deep search is running. How long does this run take?
It can take up to 10 minutes. I don't know.
We will see the
That's
result
on the
at the end of
mini
the
model.
stream.
Oh,
And actually,
no.
Oh, I think it failed. Okay, another thing is that you need a stable connection. Let me check.
but so to summarize, you created an AI agent with that does the deep research with a prompt to do deeper research. You create a script to send in a prompt to that, or your query at least. It can run long because it's a script, and then a deep research comes back and is put into a dashboard with a markdown card that stores the results from an entity.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
So let me try it again. Okay, while it is running, I can show you another thing that you can use with deep research and AI task. I have created an automation. Sorry. Okay, this automation, it starts daily. It gets my calendar events. Then it uses the conversation agent with deep research. Okay, I asked it to check to search for any events that could affect me. Like it will look for weather alerts, traffic conditions, crime reports, something like this. It will create a long report of things I should be aware of, but I don't want to read the full report. So I've created a night task.
Create a summary. Oh, wow.
To create a summary.
Isn't this in a way your own reasoning model, because you're first letting the model reason and then you're just summarizing the reasoning?
Okay.
Two-step.
It's not a regular reasoning model. It's trained specifically for deep research tasks, and it only outputs long reports. That's what it fine-tunes for. But we can use AI task to classify, to assign severity. You see, I'm using the structure output for this. I assign
Now
severity.
we're getting at the advanced stuff. So you can actually ask, using the new AI task entity, to return certain properties of the things you feed it. So you're now feeding actually your whole like research
Yes,
into
I'm
the
feeding-
AI task to classify.
Yes.
That is very smart.
yes. So here's the report. I tell them, I tell the model that this is the report. Please provide a short summary. And in the output structure, I've created a few fields like severity, high, medium, low, critical, informational, title, and summary. Okay. Then I check if it's informational, I just ignore it. I don't want to read all the informational. But if there's something important, it will create an alert with the summary.
Cool. Can you demo this? Actually,
Yes, I can.
that would be interesting.
Oh, I will not wait for the one more thing. I will rename it.
Wow. Okay, that's actually spot on. Okay, nice.
Okay. Save. And now I will manually run this automation.
And this will create as persistent notification, right?
Yes.
If it's done.
Yes. But you can do other things based on severity, for example.
Right.
Like do nothing if it's informational, persistent notification if it's low priority, maybe do voice alert if it's high priority.
Right.
Okay, it will run for some time. In the meantime, you can show other things.
Yeah, sure. How long does this one take, do you think? I'm curious about that report, though, to be fair. Like something to feed in like your daily task and agenda and then gives you like, I don't know, fresh starts today and an overview. That would be great.
Yes, it's like smart home that helps you from the outside of your home.
Right. Check.
You can also combine information from outside and from inside your home, like your sensor combined to external sources. Yeah.
JJ is asking if we have any features this month that doesn't require PhD to configure. So I do agree. This is pretty complex. What is being shown? It is kind of interesting if you can follow this. There's what is really interesting, even though this is very advanced, like in the early beginning, we showed the example of a blueprint that Paul has created. It's also linked in the release notes, by the way. But if you use that, you can attach a camera to it and you can do things with it, right? If there's motion detected, you can let it describe what was in this motion. And in that case, blueprint creators can help to build very advanced blueprints or automations that you can use, even if this is not your jam, right? I can definitely understand this is an advanced topic that is not for everyone, but still, it does open up gates even through blueprints for people, which is very cool, to be fair.
Yes, I might be going too deep, but it's deep research.
Yeah, well, that's definitely true. All right. Hey, I'm going to, this is not done yet. No. So I'm going to, it's very deep research. We'll come back next week. No, that's not true. Let's continue on the rest of the release, by the way.
I would expect less than 10 minutes.
Less than 10 minutes. Well, let us know if this one is it.
It's a mini model for the big model. I didn't even measure.
All right, let's dive into some other release things we have because, well, Paul is here too, for example, because Paul is, of course, our master of dashboards. He can do magic with anything UI, to be fair. What do you have for us this release, Paul?
I think we have small improvement about the area dashboards. Maybe I should start to demo how you can add this type of dashboard, because I think it's still experimental. So yeah.
Okay.
If you don't have a dashboard configured in your ROM, you probably have this one, which is kind of messy. But if you go to dashboard, you can add a new one, and you can add an area experimental dashboard that will create just a new type of auto-generated dashboard.
This has
Love
been
these
added.
icons.
It has been added, I think, 3 months ago or something like that.
Yeah, I meant that dialogue that just meant. I believe that was last release, by the way. It was contributed.
there
If you
is
add it,
one,
that is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So you will end up with something like this. And you can see like you have all your room listed by floor, and you can turn on the light and directly from here. And you also have some option to configure if you want to reorder, maybe not this room, but maybe the office room. Yeah, you can choose to hide, reorder entity, all this stuff. You have many options. And what we add this release is for this page. You have now a new button here. And when you click on it, you can increase the size of the card, and it will affect your dashboard.
Oh.
It will increase the size. So if you have a camera, it will display the camera directly here.
That's sweet.
Yeah, and
Actually.
if you don't have a camera, for example, in my laundry, I don't have a camera. It will just be a big icon, and it can also be a picture if you have a picture configured in your. Just a small improvement, but yeah, some people. It's very nice if you want to have a quick glance directly from the overview of your main camera for your room, and yeah.
There are some questions in the chat, though. One of them is Carl de Knol is asking, how do I select which camera is used for an area? And what if I don't want any? Well, if you don't want any, you can just make it small like it was before, right? So then it would not show. But
I'm not sure it will affect. I have to check, but here, no, I'm not sure it will affect it, because you can hide camera here. But if I add it, no, it's still.
It picks up the first camera, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, it takes the first camera, and we had in plan just to let user reorder, but it's a current limitation we have for the area card. It will. It's not fixed for this release, but it will certainly come in a few releases.
At some point, yes. This is all still experimental, right? We're still developing, and the team is also searching for feedback. So if you have ideas or feedback on this, definitely go into our forums and share your thoughts. This is still being actively developed.
Yeah, and also this is an auto-generated dashboard. So we will not provide all the options for this dashboard. The goal of auto-generated dashboard is to fit most use cases. And for beginner, if you don't want to deal with manual dashboarding and all this stuff, but if you really know what you want, you can build a dashboard yourself, and you can choose to not display the camera if you don't want. You can do every custom thing you want.
Right.
Because we can provide, if we provide all the options on this auto-generated dashboard, it will be just another manual one.
Yeah, this is a great dashboard if you're starting out and you're not, or maybe like me, I'm not good at issue-wise stuff myself. Like having some of these generated dashboard actually is my general go-to point for me. I do have some custom dashboards, but in general for day-to-day usage, I use the generated ones, mostly because it gives me control. I'm not like UI really good at that stuff. I'm a coder by heart, but if you are enjoying the UI stuff or want to go out all the way and build your own, you can still, right? So this is serving different type of audiences in that case. But yeah, it's really cool to see. I like it, to be fair. It helps me. That's for sure. Cool.
It's also very useful if you are installing Home Assistant for your parent or a friend or something else, like
Right.
someone else. So it will be a good start to Home Assistant.
Definitely. Yeah. My dad would love this. Like he is not like he's just clicking buttons generally. So that's very cool. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So that's the changes on dashboarding for the area card. Thank you so much, Paul. All right. How's the AI running, Dennis? Is it there already?
Okay, I've got first results.
Oh, here we
Okay,
go.
this is about my query. This is about my query. What I asked is, what are the latest trends in smart home industry? I'm particularly interested in open source solutions and devices interoperability. What are your projections? That's what I asked.
Mm-hmm.
And this produced a long report.
Darn it. Okay.
Also, for some reason,
We're
some
mentioned.
links are strange. Okay, anyway, it's a long report. I'm not going to read all of this on the live stream.
But you also have a notification there, though.
Yes, it gave a notification. Your deep research results are ready.
Right.
5 minutes ago. So it took like 9 minutes.
The other automation is not finished yet.
Another automation is still running.
Yeah.
It's the kind of like that's a long research, by the way, for agenda to complete. But yeah, let's get back into your agenda in a bit if it's done. Thank you so much. 9 minutes. That's a long running automation, actually.
I mean, you still got
Yes.
a lot of data. If I had to make such report, it would not be done in 9 minutes. I can tell you that much.
Oh no, that's not true. That's not true. Hey, we have a bunch of new integrations this release as well to take a look at. Let me pop up the list so we can actually look. We have a few things more, and we have some more to spoil, but there's some stuff in here that's also AI related and also related to Yoast. So let's start. We have 4 integrations. I will go from the button up, Yoast, so then we end with you because you're on the top. But Volvo is back. Volvo Connect used to be in Home Assistant back in the day, I believe.
Volvo on call, yeah.
Volvo on call.
They deprecated the old API, and well, then they had this new API. It took some work, and now it's finally there. Currently, only one platform, but it will be improving. We're also, setting up your accounts will be really easy. Yeah.
Good to see them back.
It will extend to the next couple of releases, I guess. I saw the next PR already open, so.
That's nice. Well, it's good to have another brand in. That's nice.
Yeah. And they're at least embracing it. Like, for example, like BMW, and those are like reverse engineered-ish. And Volvo now has like their own full API, and that's great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Uptime Kuma is here. Very nice little program that you can self-host that basically does, it checks network connections. It can ping web services or other services you have running and monitor they're still online. Especially cool if you have like a home lab with different machines and such running. You can monitor them, or external websites that you want to monitor for being online or offline. Pretty cool to be having that integrated in Home Assistant and actually send alerts and such. Pretty nice.
Yeah.
Ubiquiti, UISPROS.
Ubiquiti.
Ubiquiti, UISPROS.
You go from Unify?
Yes. Oh, right. Yes.
I was already wondering why you had so much struggle for trying to pronounce the name. No,
Ubiquiti. Ubiquiti, whatever. Go ahead.
Ubiquiti also sells these point-to-point devices. So if you have like a shed in the middle of nowhere and you have a clear line of sight to it and you want to connect to it and actually have some kind of internet connection, like last week I only learned that you're with Ethernet. You think, oh, Ethernet will work. You will have drop-off after 100 meters. So then you either need to, well, I have one friend who uses Powerline, and then that works surprisingly well for Powerline. Or you could use something like point-to-point. Then it just goes through the air, clear line of sight, or maybe something in between, but then it will be lower. And you will have internet connection at both sides. And apparently, Ubiquiti has like their own OS software-ish for this, Air OS. And now we integrate with this, so now you can see like the throughput and what mode your modem is in. I also see a question popping up from IAP. Why is the UISP not part of the existing Unify integration? So far as I know, they actually are different APIs.
Yes,
I don't believe they are like the same thing. Hence, we can't reuse the same thing.
It's not Unify. Yeah, that's actually the good. It's not Unify. Yeah, it's a different product from the same manufacturer, and hence it gets a different integration. If we did back in the day actually like smash them together in a single one, but it became hard to maintain. So we generally create separate integrations if their purpose are completely different.
Yeah.
Top one. Joost.
Open Router.
Oh, Open Router. What the hell is that? Like the first time I heard that name, I was like, I already have a router in my home. Actually,
Yes, but is it open?
OpenWRT is
Yes.
open. I know it's very confusing as a name, but it's actually a really cool thing.
It was really cool because today I was listening to Lewis's video, and he is of course British, and he said Open Router, and I was like, wait, what? And I said, oh wait,
Router,
I have a
yeah.
different pronunciation, which is really fun. In any case, Open Router. So with all these things, I need to share my thing. I don't know. Let me share. Hello. Yes, can I share this window? And does this didn't work? Remove this one, add this one. Okay.
Look at him.
So the thing with Open Router is that we have a lot of models. Like people, like there are a lot of models being created by OpenAI, Ollama, whatever. And there are also companies hosting it. For example, you can run your own Ollama, but there are also companies that run Ollama in their data center for you to use, which might be an alternative for you instead of using OpenAI or whatever else. And there are, of course, a lot of niche or models created by companies that do not have data centers. For example, DeepSeek or Qwen, like from Alibaba, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. So what Open Router does is like you have a couple of providers that provide an AI model, and what you can just request Open Router to be like, hey, I have this request, and Open Router will just route it to the provider with the best latency, lowest price, whatever you want, and make sure you get a response. So, for example, we have the Gemini. It's, for example, provided by Google Vertex. Apparently, there are 3 Google providers. I don't know why there are 3 Google providers, but there are. And you can see that they have different throughputs, different uptimes, and we can also see like how well the uptime was. So if you now, for example, build an application on top of only Google AI Studio, you would have a shitty uptime. And using Open Router, you have a little bit more reliability. And so the thing for Open Router is it's a really good tool to tinker with new models. So for example, I saw some people in the chat asking about the new OpenAI open source models. Like yes, apparently they were launch partner, and yesterday, like the moment they were, and I saw the link pop up, they were like, yeah, we already got you. So you can already, like now in Home Assistant, you can already just use the new model hosted by
Whoever. Yeah.
Holy shit, there are way more than I expected. Yesterday were only 3. But all these things, they all have various prices, and it's a really good tool to just tinker with LLMs. So if you're into tinkering with LLMs, like Of course, if you're just doing OpenAI or ChatGPT via OpenRouter, yes, likely you will pay a little bit more instead of directly using OpenAI, because OpenRouter also needs to earn money. But in the end,
So
yeah.
To translate that in like simple terms, basically you can set up a single OpenRouter integration or account basically, and use any AI out there through just them.
Yes, if they're provided, yes. So we have Anthropic, we have Mistral with Qwen, ZAI, apparently that's a thing. We even have one from ByteDance, Gemini, Moonshot, Mistral, XAI, you can even use Grok, Gamma, Tencent. Like, they have a lot of models. The list just goes on and on. That's
Ultimate any AI in the cloud. Yeah, that's kind of
So-
nice. So you actually end up with one account or one coupling, one provider, one account, one party to
Yes.
pay basically, because I assume they handle all the payments then as well,
Yes.
because they show the prices, right?
that's also
So
a
you-
good point. Like,
So you don't end up with like I right now have like multiple accounts with multiple places and all the integration set up for all those and credit cards with all of them, including Google, by the way, and the cloud, and I got the ChatGPT API, and I could just replace them all with just OpenRouter, I guess then.
yes, you can also bring your own keys with OpenRouter.
Okay.
So you still pay a little markup, but you still just have one way to talk with it.
Okay,
But yeah,
that's
like I said, this is still a generic API in a way. So likely the work that like for the people working on LLMs like Alan Porter, Dennis, and Paulus, and Chronicles are doing, like in the LLM team, like their work on their integration is they likely integrate better with their APIs than we're doing with OpenRouter. But if you're just really there to just tinker around with new models and you're like, oh, I see this new open source model, let's just try. Like, for example, I can now just use DeepSeek for AI task. Do I have? Can I?
Can
set up a
you
quick-
zoom in a little bit, by the way, because like enhance, like the FBI thing. Look at that. Thank you.
create a new automation. Press a button. Do I have a button somewhere? I have a button. Yes. Okay. Do something. I haven't set it up yet. Wait.
Oh, what are you doing now? Oh, you're setting up the OpenRouter with AI suggestions.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I can now select DeepSeek R1,
Mm-hmm.
and I can be like, okay, save it, and now it will use DeepSeek hosted somewhere to suggest me automation. The demo effect.
Here we go, demo failed. But the idea is very cool though. Like, and you can, is this just for tasks or for like basically any AI feature we have, right?
Also, a conversation. So yesterday, yes, okay.
It really fits.
So, for example, one of the models that recently was added, I think it's still free. Yeah. So they have the Horizon beta. Apparently, there is something that everything is locked. So use on your own risk. Someone was using this, and he was like, "This model works really great in my house. Like everything I can just ask him, it will just respond. Like, okay." He just asked, "Is my house safe?" And he just lists like, "Okay, this is safe. This is safe. The only thing just to note is, hey, your dishwasher door is open." And he was genuinely impressed with that performance compared to what he sees with the other models. So, and I think that's great just to be able to tinker around and just try something new. But yeah.
Matt even shared this one. Switch browser and OpenRouter is great. It chooses the model based on your context. That sounds, by the way, amazing. I don't know what it is, but to me, that sounded amazing. Like I also saw a discussion on which model to choose. Let's ask AI which model I should choose, which is...
No, so it literally does. The AI router instantly analyzes your request and directs you to the optimal AI from an ever-evolving library.
That's pretty sweet, actually.
So, yeah, there's a lot of possibilities, and the integration probably definitely is not complete at this point. But it's there. It is there to tinker. And so far, I've been impressed with the amount of users that already started using Open Router during the beta. Like, I thought it was like, okay, this is probably some niche thing that some users that really like LLMs will start using. But now I also see people in the chat like, oh yeah, Open Router. I'm like, what? So yeah.
Cool. I'm going to play with it. This looks really sweet, actually, to be fair. Instead of having all those accounts to play with things.
Yeah,
Getting
and-
nuts with all those API tokens.
Yeah, it kind of got inspired by T3 Chat. Like there was some ChatGPT-ish client, but just but then with all kinds of models.
Nice. Awesome. That's Open Router or Router or wherever you are. Let's see. Thank you, Joost. Amazing contribution. And then we have two new feature integrations, Bouwknecht, which is basically the same as Whirlpool appliances. It uses the same integration. And ZBox Hub, ZBox or ZBox, I'm not sure. It depends the world, I guess, again, as Vibaro. And no O-Power this month, actually. Just noticed it. No O-Power.
We haven't had one in a while.
Yeah.
But the O-Power now is fixed in California, I believe. And I think a
Yeah,
lot
there
of
were
people will be
issues.
happy with that one.
Yeah, I guess so too. California, if you were in California, some energy utility companies didn't work with O-Power integration anymore because something changed in the authentication, and that has been fixed. So if you upgrade to this version of Home Assistant, you're like back on to your energy data again. We have some noteworthy improvements to existing integrations. For this release, there's actually a bunch, and to share, PlayStation Network got quite a bunch of updates, including the latest playing game and last online time of your friends, which is kind of nice. If
Oh
you're
man, they're
into
cooking.
gaming online, they're cooking, right?
They're cooking so much cool stuff. Like they're cooking Notify entities for group chats.
Oh,
Yes.
that is helpful to automate around, especially yes. Reolink is here as always. Every single release, basically. I'm just amazed how Starkiller keeps adding stuff. I don't know where it ends, but thank you so much for keeping to contribute. The added task by Apollos we already talked about a little bit, but it supports cameras as shown by Dennis earlier. But it also supports it's also supported in the OpenAI conversation integration. I'm not sure how this is linked up actually. It seems like an error on my end at the time when I wrote this. I will revisit the sentence a little bit. Wiz supports now fans. I didn't know if Wiz produced fans actually, because
I also did not know.
it's Signify behind Wiz, right? That's
I
Signify.
believe.
That's the same mother or like the parent company like Philips Hue is.
Really?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Wiz is by Signify, same as Philips Hue is.
Since 2019.
Oh, never knew. Oh, it's probably one of those. Maybe I don't know. I'm not guessing. It's stupid. I'm just guessing. One of those ceiling lights with a fan in the middle. You see them a lot lately. At least I do see them a lot lately.
I think so. I talked about with Arthur because I also was like, since when do they make fans? But it was already merged at the beginning of the month, so I can't remember completely.
At least,
Yeah.
Well, Jaap is not a big fan of Wiz. Anyways,
Well, there are more fans coming up.
there are more fans coming. Switchboard Cloud has fans. SmartThings has vacuum support. Cool.
Yeah.
Felix Windows would ring. Oh, what happened? I lost you guys. Oh,
We're still there.
we're still there. Good. It was just my window flipping somewhere. Felix, we say in Dutch. I'm not sure. It's French, I guess. Is it French? Paul?
I do not know.
How do you
Velux,
see it? How do you
yeah,
say
I
that?
think so. Velux.
How do you say it? Felix. Okay.
Yeah,
That's the
it's,
same.
I think it's a French company, yeah.
Cool.
But I think you can also, it's another keys integration, right? I think it's a virtual integration. Maybe.
No.
Oh no,
No,
they
it's
have
not.
also a separated API, but they can also integrate with OverKits and the Somfy environment, because Somfy is also French.
Felix also integrates with HomeKit, but this is only specific for the KLF 2200 bridge. So it's only for a specific type of bridge.
Oddly specific integration. And nevertheless, if you have one, you'd be happy, right?
I had a friend who got a window, and I was like, "Oh, we have an integration for this," but apparently had a different bridge. So that's how I know this.
Right. Oh, there's something in here. There are two more things that I think we should highlight. Is the Pi-hole now supports the V6 API. So if you run Pi-hole version 6, now finally natively supported in Home Assistant. Thank you so much, Harsh, for UG to contribute this one.
Okay.
Image, upload files. That could be interesting.
It's image.
Image. I'm not sure why I'm saying that. I live on a German border. I mean, maybe that's my problem.
That's what's my problem as well, until I realized it was just image, because I literally image storage.
Yeah, probably. Yes, exactly. But this is kind of cool that you can now upload. It's like Google Photos, but then self-hosted. By the way, in case you don't know, it's a pretty freaking sweet open source project. You should definitely check out. And you can now upload pictures or photos directly into Image, which is very nice in automations. For example, like maybe your AI task detected something weird on your camera and you want to store it somewhere for longer storage there. That's cool.
But it's really cool because Mike was like working directly with people from Image. Like he's just chatting around, doing stuff, and the guys from Image are great. Like I was chatting with them until like 1 a.m. like a Monday, way too late, but it was really fun.
Image is cool. I should set it up again. It was I tried it a long time ago. Then the database was still a little bit funky, but that's like 2 years back or something. Like they were very early at that point. I'm not even sure if it's 2 years, but in their beginning. And now it apparently is very nice. Yeah, a lot of people are in the chat are reacting that it's very nice.
Yeah.
I should give it
think
another shot.
6 months or 1 year ago, 6 months ago or 1 year ago, they now work full time for the project. Before it was just a hobby, but now I think they have founder and they work full time on it.
They have 7 people working on it full time and an intern.
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool, actually.
Like they're acquired by Futo, which is like a company that's trying to be like, okay, we want to make good open source software, and that's how it kind of grows.
Cool. Well, definitely good to see that the integration is growing here as well. Talking about growing integrations, we have a bunch of integrations reaching up the integration quality scale, meaning we get a better quality integrations here. We have 5 platinum integrations this release. Gradient, thank you, Joost. Just saying hi. Discovery G. It's like energy and discovery. Discovery G. Whatever the names people come up with. Heim Digital, Peggle Online, and Tekken König. Sorry, König. Now I should use German. Actually, Tekken König. You're like, oh, I should say something, but nothing.
Yes, the Discover G integration has been renamed ages ago, so we should change the docs to name this Inexo-G, which is not per se a better name.
Exactly.
I see. It's still the domain that's called like that.
Yes.
I wonder if I cut it from. Anyways, then we have Alexa, Amazon Alexa devices hitting silver, Homey, and Mealy. Mealy is actually still really cool. It's also like a self-hosted thing for catching up your recipes and such, and cooking and schedules and meal planning. Yes, that's actually the right terminology. But also storing your recipes, right?
Yep.
Can you plan a meal using AI? You should be able with AI.
Well, you can automate that via Home Assistant. Yeah. Like there are actions to plan meals. And
you can actually plan a meal and get it through like Dennis's like deep research and ask him to make a cooking plan on how you need to prepare it, I guess.
Maybe you put a camera on your fridge and you ask what should I do?
What is it? There's even a service to just assign a random recipe to a day. So you could just gamble. You'll be fine.
I do groceries once a week, so that's not... I need to plan ahead a little.
Genuinely, using
yeah.
Melee helped me buy better groceries because
Really?
I had to plan it up front, and then you don't go to the store being impulsive with things because you're going to the store and you're like, okay, I need this, this, and this. And I mean, I work from home, so I don't mind going to 3 different supermarkets because then I get outside. So I'm like, I'm
See
literally
the-
just sitting
the
down,
air,
looking at
right?
the sales, and being okay, what I'm going to cook this week.
Furthermore, we have Onkyo and Ring who reached bronze, which is amazing. Thank you, everybody, for making this happen, by the way. It's really good to see integrations reach up this list. All right. We actually have a bunch of more things to release, some smaller things. Oh, I forgot one, by the way. Datadog is now available to set up through the UI. I always love integrations moving through the UI. That still happens, which is pretty freaking nice. So Datadog is there. We have some more things to show this release. One of them is actually started by Paul, and it's related to groups, Paul. And do you have a demo or something you want to tell?
Yeah, I should have a demo. Yeah, I have a demo prepared for that.
Outside sauce. Oh, outside, come on.
So
Let me
as you know, you can combine entity to create groups. You can create light group, cover group. We have many type of groups. Like
you can
this one. I will zoom in a little. Yeah, it's better. And so it will create one single entity that will control all your light. So if I have my Uplay, I can. It's 2 Uplay, so I combine them into one device, and I can increase the brightness. And now in this more info dialog, we added a small thing at the bottom. You can now control the individual device directly from this dialog. So if I want to increase this one, so yeah, it will be you can now control the device separately. You can even turn it off, and if you click on it, you can even access to the more info of this nested entity, and you can go back to the main one if you want.
This is really, the AI stuff is amazing, but from a daily usability standpoint, from my personal perspective, this is my favorite feature of this release. Just being able to click on a group. Sorry, Dennis. I know AI is amazing, but this is such a thing that I see that my family will be using, right? And I have like a whole bunch of spotlights across my window. It's like 7 of them, and sometimes you want some to be more dimmed or different in color. Oh,
and it's also support cover. And what is nice is it's not only for control, like, because for example, for a cover, you can have a cover half closed or fully open, and you have this computed state percentage. You don't know what it is, and you can just go here and now I understand why it is like this, and you can go to different entities.
I must say, I also like this feature. It simplifies the interface a lot. So you don't have to add your individual entities.
Yeah, and it's very funny because we didn't plan to add this feature. We do like many research on improving the default dashboard, and for the area card, having the toggle opening a special dialog with grouping, and we say, we try to do this for a non-grouping entity, but let's do this for a grouping entity. And I think it was like 2-hour work or something like that. It wasn't that much to add.
It's cool how these things sometimes just happen, and that's so nice. We got a question in chat from Daniel, by the way. He is asking, does it work with Zigbee groups, in this case, Zigbee to MQTT?
We look at the attribute of the entity, and if it has a list of entity, but I don't think it's the case for a Zigbee group.
No, it doesn't work with Zigbee groups in that case because it it's aimed at groups that Home System maintains. So in case you make a group in Zigbee, Zigbee to MQTT, it comes in as a single light actually from Zigbee to MQTT to us. We have no context on what's underneath it actually. So that doesn't work, but I guess they could if they wanted to.
What about ZHA?
Also not. Depends on how you create the group. But in general, this feature, that's the long or the unsatisfying answer, I guess. But in the end, this is a feature that is built on top of the helpers we have in Home Assistant, right? So if you go to your settings and then to your helpers, devices and services, then go to the helpers tab. That's where you can add groups for covers and lights. Those will actually work for this feature. The cool thing about that feature though, like using helper groups in Home Assistant, is that you can actually combine different technologies together, right? Like it's not tied into Zigbee. I could like, I don't know, combine Zigbee and Matter and Z-Wave in a single group there.
I think I have a group on my production, which is all light.
Seriously?
Yeah. This one?
So
basically, I have all my lights. It's very useful because I can just click here and turn all off, and I don't have to create a script or something. I just have to click turn off on this entity, and I also have the number of active light and all this stuff. But yeah, I will probably not use this more info for that.
Cool.
And one other thing we have for the UI globally, some people may have noticed that the blue have changed.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And also some buttons.
There's slight UI changes and styling changing happening lately. And this is now it becomes the color is very present. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, no. Before we had like a transparent button for secondary. Now we have a light and dark button, and yeah, we are slowly moving to a better design system to unify the interface everywhere. So you may notice that button have changed everywhere, and the default blue, the primary blue color have changed. But if you don't like it, you can also using theme to change it. I think we have many new color token if you want to change it.
This is actually very subtle. I initially didn't like. I felt something was different when I initially looked at it. I was like, something is off, but it's not off, and I couldn't like really pinpoint what it is. But yes, it's indeed a little bit. The colors of the button changed, and we're slowly making more of these changes, just to indeed unify the interface. I'm looking forward to all the changes. By the way, another feature of this release. I'm not sure. Did you set up your energy dashboard?
I have it on my production. It's in French, but it should be okay.
It will be okay. Because there's something new on the energy dashboard. If you've been using Sankey charts, which is a custom integration, the author actually works for the Open Home Foundation. And yeah, he has added a version of it as an energy flow diagram to the energy dashboard, which I think is absolutely sweet.
Yeah, it's for energy, not for power. So
yes,
it's not a real-time power consumption like you can do in the Sankey chart. But yeah, for example, you can select the full year, and you should be able to easily see which floor consume a lot, and yeah, all these things. I don't have a dual source, but if you have solar, I think this source will be split up into multiple.
Yeah, I do have solar. I can see if I can share my screen as well. I need to stop first and then add, because I need a different window. Where's the window? I think it's this window. I hope it works. Where am I?
It's very nice. If you hover it, you also see the the total of consumption for each room and.
Why is the outrest? Why isn't that linked to a separate? Why doesn't that have miss a block in the middle? Like for the other
Which
ones,
one?
you have exterior, like home
Yeah.
exterior, and with the other one is like home outrest, like the
Oh, this one?
yeah.
Yeah, it's basically I have another room that I put everything I don't want, like the heating and the water heating. It's for me it's global to the whole room, so I don't assign it to the whole house, so I don't assign it to a floor. So it's this.
Oh, it's not a floor, right?
Yeah,
Right.
this room, I have another room, and this room is directly linked to the home because there is no floor, because it's global for my house.
Let me see if I can share my screen because I have a different. Oh, wow, this looks weird. Not sure why. Okay, nevertheless, on mine, you can see here the battery, home battery, and the grid popping in where my solar flows into. So part of my solar, most of them goes into my home, and that part of it goes back to the grid, and from the grid goes to other places too. I don't have much set up in this instance, but at least it shows part of the solar and where it's going through, including my little home wizard home battery, which is kind of cool that it shows up like that.
But you don't see a consumption from your battery to your house.
No, because we don't know where it goes, right? At
Yeah.
this point, we just know it charges or discharges. At this point, for what has been in this part of the energy flow, it's only been charging. It has not discharged yet, or I guess it will be discharging right now. That said, my current setup is everything beyond representable, because I'm actually fully tearing down my smart home at this point. Because I'm moving, so I'm trying to sell this house. If anybody ever like been in this situation, I'm de-smart homifying my whole home in order to sell it right now.
We have a question about to make it configurable to show floor. It's a card, so you can use it in your dashboard, but you should add energy data picker or something like that to control it. And you can choose if you want to show floor and areas. But maybe it should be an option for the energy dashboard. Yeah. I don't know why I have a Mac OS section. It's not a bad comment, yeah.
All right.
Is it from AI?
Sorry?
No, the icon. Was it from AI?
No, it's a macOS. Like the
Mac OS has this icon things happening.
Yeah.
You have to explicitly disable it.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are a few of them. I don't.
You have it enabled?
I think so.
Nope.
But
I don't think so.
it doesn't work yet, though.
That's kind of fun. Another feature this release is actually in the automations. Let me share my screen a little bit quick here. If you create a new automation here and add a time trigger, or time trigger actually has a new feature. If you like enable and trigger them, I don't know, 1 p.m., you can now actually select the days it will trigger up. So previously it would trigger every day on 1 p.m. and now you can say, okay, only on Fridays, Saturday, Sunday, if that's your preference. There we go. So this makes it a little easier to limit the time trigger instead of having a condition with templating.
Yeah, I did that.
People would generally do. Yeah, exactly right. It just makes it a little bit easier to do something. But I had an example in the blog post where every other day, basically on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, I would trigger a notification that it's workout time in the morning, kind of level deal with 1 day rest in the middle. It's kind of fun. You can do stuff like that more easily. So weekday selection in the time trigger for automations. Also new this release.
That's great. I'm going to go back to my situation awareness automation, and I will make it run later on the weekends.
Right, exactly. And there's a few things more, by the way. Let me open up the other noteworthy changes still here. Share this tab instead. Here we go. We have now support for absolute humidity as a device class, which is cool. Group management was improved. We added the ability to reorder members in a group. Oh, you can?
I can show this one also.
What would be the use then?
I just have to show my screen.
Hold on, let me.
Yeah, so we know display entities here. So the order now makes sense. Before it doesn't make sense because we never display it in the UI. And now you can, for example, I have all my blinds and I just want to reorder them in the proper order. So basically, it will define the order that you will display.
Right.
Yeah.
I was thinking, why would you reorder them? And now it makes sense. Indeed, we have this new dialogue.
Before it was not make. Yeah, it didn't make sense to do it before, but now that we display it, it makes sense.
Right. All right. Awesome. Thank you. I get that. That actually is really smart. What else do we have here, which is very interesting? Template integration. Petro has been
cooking.
Oh, God. The template integration, by the way, means that if you create template entities, right? This is not the template engine itself, but the template entities which you can trigger on or collect data using templates to create a new, for example, sensor or other entities. But yeah, there's a bunch of improvements here. He's been knocking out of the ballpark. Really cool. He's picking up a lot of things from the feature request section of Home Assistant. Actually, the new feature request section, a lot of this inspiration came from, which is absolutely stunning to see. So thank you so much, Petro. I cannot say it enough. That's a huge list. And I've seen there's more. So
you know what I'm waiting for? An update template. Just
an
to make
update template.
Yes, because then you can get like the latest version for the software you're running in a template and automate that with like an SSH script to log into your server and just update it automatically for you. So then you can use Home Assistant as your main update software thing.
You can use platforms that are not supported still to update remote things, like, I don't know, your Debian host or something, Ask packages and things like that. Maybe, yeah, maybe that works. Awesome. Last but not least, we talked about the grouping, we talked about the energy stuff. There's breaking changes, and there have been quite a lot. Like, although the trend last releases have been like one or two, this release comes with a lot of backwards incompatible changes listed here, and most of them are honestly pretty small and the same. Yes, they have repercussions on a lot of integrations. For example, Matter, the battery property of the vacuum entity has been removed. There's now battery sensor, and we're removing the battery property from the vacuum entities because that's a duplicate. This one comes back for multiple ones, including like Roborock, right? It's the same story. It's also a vacuum. It shows up for Tuya as well. So there are multiple of the same ones. Z-Wave is here. That you need to be sure to update your Z-Wave add-on. If you're using Z-Wave as automatically installed as the core integration, we will take care of it for you. But if you're running a different add-on like Z-Wave Yash UI or maybe a Docker container somewhere else, you need to make sure you've updated. Don't worry if you haven't. Home Assistant will tell you after upgrade you haven't upgraded yet, and you should do that, but it's nice to know where to go. What else was in here? What's potentially interesting?
For media player, I think we have a state that is, we don't have the standby state anymore. It's the merge with the off state.
Correct. Which influences media players that had a state called standby. So if you automated on the fact that something was standby, you might have to adjust those automations to now not look for standby, but off. And we now combine them indeed. And that's basically everything in this release. 2025.8. Look at that. And how are we time-wise? Look at that, 10 minutes left in this release party stream. How's your schedule thing summary going there? Dennis?
It's finished.
It finished?
Yes. It finished in 13 minutes. You can see the timeline. And I've got
15
then
minutes.
notification.
Yeah.
Okay, it detected my location as Nicosia, Cyprus. So it's actually a pretty useful notification. It alerts me about the wildfire.
Wow. It did get that from your calendar, essentially, an AI.
I love how like the itinerary data test just took 4 seconds.
Yes, that one was fast, but then it didn't do the deep research, right?
No,
Yes.
of course.
The reasoning models
It
are
does.
slow.
You can actually see the full report in the traces.
Holy crap.
But most of it is not important. So that's why we need the classifier.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that demo, Dennis. That's so cool. It
You're
does
welcome.
show a lot of stuff you can do, right? That you can go beyond your imagination and how advanced you can go and want to be. Like, it allows you for stuff like that.
At this
Yes, I'm
point,
very curious what other users would do.
I'm also curious. Like for example, because this is of course your development environment. What do you use AI for in your home? Do you also use it for this, or do you have other use cases?
Actually, to be honest, I mostly use it for chat.
Okay. Just to turn on lights, or just to make a research paper?
Yes. No, just turn on lights and ask general questions.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Sweet.
Just like you would do on ChatGPT.com, but I do it in Home Assistant.
Sweet.
I got some more questions. So next release is full Jarvis at this rate. I strongly believe that AI isn't there yet, Side, but it's going in a rapid rate, right? Development in the world
Never
of
know.
AI is indeed, you never know. Skynet might be close by. I don't want to panic, but
Maybe I should
think
start
so.
watching Iron Man so I know what people mean with are we at full Jarvis shit.
Wait, what? You haven't watched Iron Man yet?
Maybe.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't hear that one. What was the breaking change with Reolink? Doc asked the Wi-Fi signal strength sensor changed. It previously had values from 124 or something, and now it shows the actual dB values of the Wi-Fi sensor from the top of my mind. But that's something like that. It has a different output now. Other questions I had and saw and picked up still. Anything big in the pipeline for the next release? Yes. No, yes, there's very, very big things in the pipeline. It is not a secret. We've been working on making some changes on automations, and we might see the first things next release. We actually hoped to put something in this release, but we didn't make it. So hopefully next release we'll see some automation changes, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I guess we're through. And Joost, I heard you're moving to a new home.
Well, not moving yet. I'm still renovating.
Okay.
But yeah, I bought an apartment, and now it's like, then you also need to think about how will you do a smart home, because now...
Well, exactly. How's that
Yeah.
going?
Well, it also comes with its own challenges, because like I really need to redo the whole electricity, because the current electricity is old. I also found out that like my washer is not even it's not even secured by the power thing. So yeah, it's an interesting challenge to learn all these things, because there's a lot to come with renovating an apartment, and then you find out that concrete is quite much harder than you expected, and no, and then at this point I'm also just thinking about, okay, how do I want to make my smart home? Because Like I wrote a blog post about it last 2 weeks ago because, like, for example, I want my home to be smart. I don't want to rely on my phone to do things, and I want to make sure that I have enough tools, like for example, presence sensor, motion sensor, to know the variables that matter to me to automate things on. And that can quite sometimes be a challenge, because where do you put these things? And yeah.
Did you settle on like I don't know, a protocol or technique you want to go with? Like, I know a lot of people ask when they start up the smart home, like the number one question I always read is like, what should I pick? Z-Wave, Zigbee, Matter, or there's so much questions around that. I always feel like I cannot answer that question for anyone. But did you settle on something?
I think I will be just going Zigbee. Like once I just bought like 15 of those Aqara temperature sensors and door sensors, because I'm like, okay, this works well. They look nice and small and great. So I think it might be mostly Zigbee, but I will also blend some Z-Wave in there. Because hey, did you hear that there's a new product launch next week?
It's funny because every people is asking like what protocol do I choose, and everybody will end by using many protocols at the same time, because you can do it with Home Assistant easily. So
that's true.
I just don't care. Just buy a Z-Wave stick and Zigbee stick, Bluetooth stick, and you can basically buy everything you want.
Yes, and I mean at this point it's like, okay, you only have one Zigbee device, okay, but then it works, and then you have. I'm already seeing that I'm just going to end up with every protocol, like from Bluetooth to Thread to because currently where I'm currently my parents, I only have a Thread network because I only have one Thread device and that's it for now, and I have Bluetooth.
Dennis, do you have any specific protocol you prefer? Like, do you have like a, I don't know, like a dominance of a certain type of protocol or device in your home?
Me?
Mm-hmm. Do you have certain protocols?
I use Zigbee.
Zigbee. Okay.
Yes.
That's a very clear, strong answer.
Okay, because it's a mesh network. Once you have a couple of Zigbee devices, you will you'll buy more Zigbee devices to make use of this mesh network.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The only downside is I don't have much end devices. Like I have a lot of end devices currently, but not a lot of routers. So I need to look into like. I already have a lot of Philips Hue lights. Do I want to keep those using the bridge? Do I want to use them via the Zigbee? Because if I use them via Zigbee, I have a way stronger network. Well, those are things I still need to decide on. And at this point, I'm like, let's just keep all options open. So, because I should put my priorities in actually drilling holes and making sure I have enough room in my, electricity stuff. And yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, it's something really to look out for. In
a few months, I will be asking you for advice. Probably, I bought a new house, so I'm going down the same path. I currently more stressing out in selling this house, which I'm in right now. So I'm de-smart homifying, which is also, by the way, a very interesting experience. I'm not sure if anybody who's like watching right now ever like de-smart homified their house and like get everything out. At that point, you actually realize how much sensors I've put into my house over all those years, right?
How many boxes?
They're at least 4 at this point. It's everywhere. Like a little temperature sensor here and a humidity sensor there. And actually, I don't know how many I have, but they're like everywhere. And I'm like pulling out everything. And things are just like, indeed, the mesh network is falling out. Things like that happening. It's I have a couple of
sensors that are hidden inside the doors, like craved inside. Would be difficult to remove.
No. Also, the thing is, like before, I had a place where I rented, and when renting, like you also have to remove all the sticker stuff, and that, like first I was like, oh yeah, I just don't do it. Like at some point, I was like, "Oh, I don't have much stuff sticking to the walls. It did not drill, did not do anything." I had like this plate, so it was like just a sticker. And in the end, it was like, "Oh shit, I need to remove all the sticker glue," and I did not realize how much I put on the wall until I had to remove it. But the great tip from Frank, by the way, wasmachine. What's
I'm not sure what the translation for that one is. I'm sorry.
But that was the best advice you could give me. Like it was.
We call it wasmachine. I have no clue what the translation for
it's
it.
literally gasoline.
It's gasoline.
White
Okay.
spirit or refined petrol.
Refined petrol, and then you can remove.
It stinks, but it's great stuff. Don't use colored toilet paper. Colored paper, by the way, because at some point we had like one with dots, and then we smeared it away and became like the color of the paper. That was not the purpose.
But indeed, I agree with this statement. The Aquara glue is the 3M tape stuff, which is pretty. It's great stuff, by the way. To say,
I mean, it sticks during usage, so I guess it
is.
It's
So it has
funny
been
because they provide a replacement for that. When you buy a new Akara stuff, they have a sticker replacement in the box.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have a replacement one, but it's very hard to remove the original one. So
Oh god. I will see. I've saved all those replacements. Actually, I have a little thing, like a little box where I put all of those in over time. So I have like a collection of like 3M little plates and stickers that I can match up later again, I guess, if I still use them. That's the question. I'm not sure if I keep using everything. I really need to rethink everything in my new home, I guess. I don't know. But years have passed as well, right? So some of my smart home stuff was really already maybe 7-8 years old now, which might be time to say goodbye to. I don't know.
I mean, if it works, it works.
Oh, that's definitely true.
Sustainability.
Sustainability, definitely. Talking about sustainability, which is one of the core values of the Open Home Foundation. For me and Joost and Paul, we're sitting here and being able to work full-time on the Home Assistant project because of your subscription and support for Nabu Casa Cloud, our commercial partner. Definitely keep doing that because it allows us to make live streams like this and the releases and everything we do with many and everybody working at the Open Home Foundation. So your support is very much needed. So please consider subscribing so we can keep doing the awesome things we do here. Also, if you haven't done yet, hit the thumbs up button on the stream, hit the like and subscribe button here on YouTube, or if you're somewhere else, I'm not sure if any other platform has a like, subscribe button kind of deal. LinkedIn, we are streaming on LinkedIn and Facebook as well. Never watched the stream on those platforms, actually, I realize right now. But we are there.
We have 23 likes on Facebook, if I have to believe StreamYard.
23 likes on Facebook. Okay, thanks Facebook. And thank you for tuning in, because I think we're pretty much at the end. After this live stream, we will go, or I'm not sure if everybody here is going, but I will be heading out to the Discord server. On Discord, we have a community stage channel. We will be there sitting, chatting, a little bit of an after party. You can like literally ask us anything. We can discuss more difficult things or simpler things, or maybe spoil something. I don't know, but we generally hang out there a little bit after the stream to talk. Feel free to ask us anything during that part. And with that said, I think we reached the end.
Meow.
Right? Meow.
Yeah.
Exactly. That was about time. We have never meowed on stream, so that's
yes.
There's that.
Take that,
everybody. Take that. This is an internal joke. Sorry about that. But everybody, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you. Well, I won't see you, but you definitely should tune in next week for the Z-Wave is not that live stream at same time, same place. And otherwise, I will see you next month for the September release. See you later. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See ya.